Analyze competitive data is strategy software for a specific operational decision. C analyzes competitive intelligence data to identify market positioning and competitor strategies. This video explains what the tool does, why the workflow matters, and how the output becomes useful decision evidence. The problem is that strategy teams often manage this workflow with scattered inputs, inconsistent review rules, and manual interpretation. At quarantadue.ai, every MCP workflow starts from the real tool interface, not from a generic prompt. The goal is simple. Keep the expert in control while the system structures the evidence. Inputs, reasoning, and outputs stay connected in one reviewable flow. Now the results become easier to compare, easier to review, and easier to explain. Analyze competitive data narrows that process into a repeatable model so teams can compare cases without rebuilding the logic each time. Analyze competitive data starts with a defined input contract. Typical inputs include total addressable market size, overall market growth rate, market concentration level, our market share, and our revenue growth rate. Keeping these fields explicit reduces ambiguity and makes every run easier to audit. The workflow then applies calculate the Herfindahl-Hirschman index, HHI, by summing the squares of market shares for our company and two main competitors to measure market concentration. Calculate relative market position score by combining market share ranking and growth rate ranking with appropriate weights to create a normalized 0-100 score. Calculate our projected market share in 1 year by adjusting current share for our growth rate relative to total market growth from all competitors. Calculate the product coverage gap by comparing our product coverage to the average coverage of primary and secondary competitors, and calculate strategic urgency index by combining market share gap, growth rate deficit, and relative position decline factors into a 0-100 scale indicating need for strategic response. This keeps the process deterministic, reviewable, and aligned with how strategy teams actually make decisions. Analyze competitive data returns structured outputs such as competitive position score, strategic urgency index, projected market share, product coverage gap, and competitive matrix analysis. These outputs are designed to support review, reporting, comparison, and follow-up actions. The value of analyzed competitive data is not just automation, it is a controlled way to turn repeated strategy work into a documented business process with clear inputs, transparent logic, and reusable outputs.